Hello happy crocheters, this is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this easy ear warmer. If you like this tutorial, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make this ear warmer, and then I'm going to show you 4 different ways to finish it so you can create 4 different styles. For this project, you are going to need a size H 5mm crochet hook. You're going to need scissors, a yarn needle, and size 4 worsted weight yarn. I am using Red Heart with Love. I am going to provide sizing in this pattern, but all the people in the photo are actually wearing this small adult size. So that's the size I would choose if you don't know what size you need to make. So let's go ahead and make a slip knot, insert our hook, and we're going to begin by chaining 17. Once you have 17 chain, we're going to begin our ear warmer. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and the next 2 chains. So that's a total of 3 single crochets starting in the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to create our center texture. To do this, in the next chain, we are going to both single crochet and double crochet. So first work a single crochet and then double crochet into the exact same chain. Now we will skip a stitch and repeat that. We're going to repeat this process a total of 5 times. So single crochet, double crochet into the same chain, and then skip a stitch. So just keep repeating this until we have a total of 4 chains left to work. So here I have my 5 repeats completed. I have 4 chains left to work. I'm going to skip this first chain and single crochet into the last 3 chains. So we have completed row 1. Now we are going to work row 2. Row 2 is our repeat row, so we'll just keep repeating row 2 until our ear warmer is as long as we want it to be. We'll start with a chain 1 and turn our work. In the first 3 stitches, we're going to work single crochets, but in the back loop only. So we're going to take our hook, go down the center of the stitch and out the back. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and create a single crochet. Now repeat this process twice more. So you have a total of 3 single crochets worked in the back loop only. Alright, so just like the last row, we are going to work the same repeat. We're going to single crochet and then double crochet into the exact same stitch. Then we will skip a stitch and single crochet and double crochet again in the next stitch. We're going to repeat this a total of 5 times. So that was twice. I'm going to skip a stitch. In the next stitch, I'm going to single crochet first, followed by a double crochet in the same stitch, and then do this repeat twice more. Should have a total of 4 stitches left unworked. When you get to the last 4 stitches, we're going to skip that first stitch and single crochet in the last 3 stitches, but in the back loop only. So down the center and out the back of the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, single crochet, and then single crochet in the back loop only of the last 2 stitches. Working in the back loops only will give us just a small ribbed section on the top and bottom of our ear warmer, while we have a pretty textured section in the center. So now all we need to do is simply repeat row 2 until you have the number of rows you need for your size ear warmer. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the back loop only of the first 3 stitches. I'm also throwing up the total number of rows you want for each size of headband. Then we're going to work our repeat, which is single crochet, double crochet in the same stitch, and then skip a stitch. You're going to repeat that 5 times. So we are skipping a stitch, single crochet and double crochet into the same stitch, and just keep repeating until you have 4 stitches left. Skip the next stitch and single crochet in the back loop only of the last 3 stitches. And just keep repeating row 2 until you have the number of rows you need for your size. So here I've worked 56 rows. I did that for all of my examples that I made, and it seemed to fit everyone from my 4-year-old daughter to myself, so it's a really good size for kind of a one size fits all. I went ahead and fastened off my yarn, leaving a really long, maybe 24-inch yarn end, and I just yarn over and pull that through the very last stitch. So now I'm going to take the 4 that I have and show you 4 different ways to finish off this ear warmer so you have 4 different styles. The first one we're going to do is a very simple ear warmer. We're just going to take both ends, fold them into the middle, and whip stitch this together. This will just give us a basic flat ear warmer. So I've threaded my yarn needle, and I am just going to whip stitch the edges of this ear warmer together. Once it's completely sewn together, I'm just going to knot my 2 yarn ends, and then I'll weave in my ends, and this ear warmer is done. So for the second ear warmer, we're just going to do a simple twisted ear warmer. To do this, you're going to lay your piece flat, take one side, and just flip it over, creating a twist in the center of our ear warmer. Then we're going to bring our ends together, and just like we did last time, we are going to whip stitch the 2 ends together. So just the same as last time, except for a little twist in the center. So I just threaded my yarn needle, and I am using a simple whip stitch to sew the 2 ends together. So here you have it. This is the simple twisted ear warmer. Let's move on to option number 3. So for this ear warmer, we are going to cinch the center of the ear warmer. You want to make sure you have that really long yarn end for this one. We're going to start by making the basic ear warmer by bringing the 2 ends together and sewing them together, just like that. Now, once they're sewn, we are going to pinch the center and bring up the 2 edges just to squeeze everything together. Once you have it the way you like it, hold that with one hand, and with the other hand, use your very long yarn end to wrap it around the cinched area. Take your time so that your strands are nice and neat, but it is going to take a minute to wrap this all the way around. You definitely want to wrap it around several times. We are trying to create almost what is like the center of a bow. So you want to leave it pretty thick and wrap it around a few times. Once you're finished wrapping it around, you're just going to take what's left of your yarn end and what you have of your other yarn end on the back side, and you're just going to knot them together and then weave in your ends. I must admit, I think this might be my favorite of all the options, but I would love to know which style you like best in the comments below. So there you have it, a cinched ear warmer. For option number 4, we're going to do another twisted version, but this one's twisted where the seam is. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 corners, one top corner, one bottom corner on 2 different sides, and you are going to bring them together so that only half of the ear warmer is crossing each other. So put your corners together and then just slide them down until it's halfway crossed. Then you're going to take your other 2 ends and fold them behind the other side piece and fold it again. And now we're going to use our yarn end to sew back and forth along the top here. You want to sew as shallow as possible in order to avoid making this really bulky. So what I like to do is, since we're looking at the top of the stitches, I just barely go under the top of each stitch. And it's very, very important to make sure that you are sewing through all 4 layers every time you sew back and forth. So quick reminder, bring those corners together, bring them over halfway, fold one side behind and one side in front, and then just barely sew those edges together. Sewing a shallow seam and making sure you get all 4 layers. So here I have it all sewn together. I worked through all 4 layers. I tried to keep that as shallow as possible. We're just going to knot these 2 yarn ends together, weave in our ends, turn your ear warmer inside out so that your seam is on the inside, and here you have a different type of twisted ear warmer. This was a very, very popular style last year. It's a very clever way of achieving it because you hide your seam while getting a cool twisted look. So I hope you liked this style as well, and I hope you liked the ear warmer pattern. Make sure to check out my other video tutorials, and as always, thank you so much for watching.